What if Bugatti never produced Veyron Supersports? What if Porsche didn't make 918 Spider? Or what if Ferrari didn't make production of LaFerrari or McLaren didn't be one? Obviously, nothing would really happen. But literally, there is really something to lose for these companies indeed. These cars are some of the most pioneering icons of all time in automotive history. Deciding not to produce these legends is losing the opportunity to prove before the world what is possible and to leave a mark in history. And that's exactly what Jaguar did. The Jaguar CX75 is a hybrid electric concept car built to celebrate 75th anniversary of Jaguar. It was unveiled for the first time in 2010 at Paris Motor Show. The technology underneath the car was astounding as it looks from outside. The car is propelled by 4 electric motors. The batteries gain the charge by 2 jet engines. That was actually ridiculous for a car. It was the most sophisticated and futuristic concept car at that time. Jaguar collaborated with Williams F1 for this CX-75 project. A hand-picked expertise from Jaguar and Williams F1 were get together to build this beast. The extremely stunning looking car was the culmination of style and function while pushing to an extreme level where a car could be. But that outlandish technology just gets settled with the concept model. Putting a jet engine in a car to recharge the batteries is not only hard but also leads to an enormous temperature that could even melt the car. There is a lot of concept cars out there with the fantastic technology ideas, but normally very few of them made to production, and the CX-75 is one of that. In 2011, the team started development of prototypes. If Jaguar entering into market with CX-75, that wasn't the only icon at that time. There is a big number of competitors. In 2011, Pagani Huayra stunned the world. Then the Bugatti Veyron Supersports debuted, the Porsche 918 Spider and the McLaren P1 launched. Koenigsegg Agera R killed the Veyron. Lamborghini introduced the iconic Aventador for the first time, and so on. It wasn't pretty easy time, and it would never be. That competition is the excitement of automotive world. So, Jaguar need to stand out. The team developed a fantastic engine for the car. The engine was a little 1.6-liter turbo and supercharged 4-cylinder engine, yet it gives an output of a crazy 500 horsepower. To put that into perspective, the 2018 Audi R8 produces 525 horsepower with a 5.2-liter V10 engine, so that was something quite unusual. The 2 electric motors with 390 horsepower were combined to get the total 890 horsepower. The car should cost up to $1.5 million and the 250 units were estimated, but as it is, it didn't make to production. In the end of 2012, Jaguar officially announced the cancellation of 250 units due to recession. Company states that it seems like a wrong time to launch a €1 million supercar. The 5 prototypes were built, one of them kept in Jaguar Museum and another one featured in 2015 James Bond's film Spectre, and the rest were sold in auction. It wasn't great for the car enthusiast, and it is even harder for the team behind the project from Jaguar and Williams F1. The CX-75 was a really exciting, anticipated and promising car. It may seem like pretty obvious reason from Jaguar, but it isn't. Normally, the recession or financial crisis enormously affect the banking industry. But the financial crisis in 2009 in the US and the 2012 recession in UK really affected the automotive industry. The automobile industry was the second most affected industry after the banking at that time of crisis. The reason is, more than 50% of the automotive production belongs to Europe, Japan and US combined. The biggest companies like GM and Ford were at the verge of bankruptcy. So it works pretty straightforward. The lack of credit availability and the huge rate of interest in banks causes people not to buy a car. A car is not an income source, it is an expense, and it is commonly not a necessary thing to buy. You can use public transport for that period of time. As a result, the companies fail to make budgeted sales or even fails to pay credits or liabilities. But as I mentioned, the recession affects general people who buy cars for credits. So the recession is a general scenario. It affects companies produces less expensive cars for mass market. There was actually 10% increase in luxury premium car sales at that time. Companies like Mercedes, Audi, BMW, Lexus, Bentley actually increased the sales. In 2009 to 2011 in US, there was a great increase in rich peoples. The recession is not a personal problem. The people who buy luxury cars didn't care about recession. So the reason for CX-75 cancellation still seems blurry. To put that into perspective, the Aston Martin 177 produced from 2009 to 2011. It was a €1 million hypercar right in the time of recession and in the UK, and still the 77 units were sold out. So from Jaguar, it is not a reason anymore, it is an excuse, and it's not meant to be done by such a great company. The Porsche 918 Spider unveiled in 2010. Production starts in 2013 to 2015, and still the 918 units were sold out. It is pretty sure that the amazing CX-75 would be sold out even before a single car leaves the production line. So, still the reason is unknown. Today, the Jaguar cars are an average competitive cars. From the entry-level model XE to XJ and the SUVs E-Pace and F-Pace are average cars in its own classes. Customers always have better choices for buying luxury cars from Mercedes, BMW or Audi. It's not mean Jaguar cars are bad, but it is not better than Mercedes or Audi. The sports model F-Type had also the same story. The model is outdated, it couldn't even compare to AMG GTR. One of the Jaguar's exciting focus is on the fastest performance sedan, thanks to the XE-SV Project 8. On the other hand, Jaguar is focusing on electrification instead of supercars. The I-Pace is a true success, and as well, the Panasonic Jaguar Formula E car. Jaguar promises that the future supermodel will feature the design details and technologies inspired from CX-75. There is not any announcement from the brand about the supermodels yet, but we can hope the successor of CX-75 in the future.